Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2015. General focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month has a decidedly social focus to it. People are wanting your time. People are asking for your attention. And people are much of the focus for you as well. Now, this includes conversation. I think conversation is going to be really big this month. But this also includes exploration as well. And it is through people that a lot of new ideas and new ways of perceiving are going to be introduced to you now. As we start the month, really right out of the gate, we've got a full moon happening. Now, this full moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with adventure. It has to do with stepping out onto more of the world, exploring the world of ideas, but also the actual physical world as well. And it has to do with beginning to put things into place or actually figuring out what the vision is and what needs to happen now so that you can manifest even bigger things further down the road. When we have a full moon in this part of the sky, it brings illumination, it brings clarity, and it brings an appreciation of truth, and particularly what your particular truth is. Now, you add to this that this full moon is getting lots of cosmic support from Jupiter, and it tells me that you are going to be on to an idea for change that just delights you to no end. Now, for some of you, this is going to include an educational process because higher education is covered by this part of the sky, because it does have to do with putting things into place that'll help you manifest bigger down the road, but also because it has to do with an introduction and putting yourself in a position to be exposed to new ideas and new ways of looking at the world as well. If you are engaged in an educational process, this should be an important turning point time for you, an important month for you. News comes in, you get that clear answer as to the program you're in, changing your major, how you did on your exams, if you got into that school, into that graduate school. All of that becomes much more clear now, where you understand what it is that you've been going for and what it is that is trying to manifest now in terms of you knowing more than you did before. Now remember, full moons are about culmination. It's about what is now coming to fruition. So it looks like, and especially with full moons, they tend to be a long time coming. You tend to feel them in the ether and know they're coming for a while. And then it's like the truth and what you were expecting in some respects starts to reveal itself more fully. But what I do really like about this particular full moon, as I said, it's speaking with Jupiter in supreme harmony. It's also connecting with Uranus in your sky as well, in your particular sign as well. And so this tells me that there's just happiness, and it's surprising and it's delightful. And there's a sense of wonder and excitement about what now is next, thanks to developments taking place. For some of you, this is going to be a chance to actually travel. And if that does happen for you, manifest now for you, it can be an experience that ends up really liberating you on a very deep soul level and introducing you to ways of looking at the world that not only had you not considered before, but also change the way that you understand yourself and your place in the world as well, and even what you believe. In fact, when I see a sky like this, it can be sort of coming on a whole new way of considering the world, whether philosophically or even spiritually, that ends up being a big influence on your life going forward. For some of you, this is going to be, as I said, stepping up, being seen by more of the world. And if that should be the case for you, this ultimately has to do with recognizing that you have a message and that you desire to now share it. And so it has to do with coming out of whatever shell might be there, whatever limitations might have been there, so that you're putting yourself out there in even bigger ways with the belief, and the correct belief at that, that will garner you greater rewards. As we move towards the middle of the month, we've got a new moon taking place, also in a very social part of the sky as well, whereas the full moon has you sort of interacting and meeting with places that you didn't know of before and ideas you didn't know of before. This tends to be a little bit more immediate. It tends to be meeting with people you already sort of see every day as you run your errands, your neighbors. It has to do with cousins and siblings. But it also has to do with random interactions and talking to people, being exposed to new ways of expressing. So it's not so much about the message, it's about the medium. And when I see a new moon like this coming up, it suggests to me that you will, on the one hand, be having lots of interactions that are about getting you to communicate and express what you need to in the moment. But also there's a lot of value with this particular new moon to networking as a way for your personal development, but also as a way to not only just personally, but practically to move your life in a positive direction. What I really like about this new moon as well is that there is an element playing out here that has to do with learning. Now, this is very practical. This isn't about higher learning, about, considering things philosophically in an elevated kind of way. This is about the immediacy. What skill do I need to know? What is it that I could do right now quickly to garner the information that I need so that I can more effectively or more quickly do what it is that I desire to do, that I feel called to do. So this isn't about a calling necessarily. That's happening at the beginning of the month. Again, the early part of the month is a little bit more lofty. This is more immediate. This is understanding that paperwork needs to be filled out. You may need to learn a computer program. You may need to take a day class. You may need to go to a workshop or a talk that's going to help you along this process of figuring out how to make the most of the knowledge and the insights that visit you in the early part of the month. As I said, siblings, cousins also highlighted under this particular new moon. So it does look like a sibling or cousin or even a neighbor may come to you with a fresh idea or just an opportunity to talk and figure out your own ideas at that. Communication's always good, but especially with this particular new moon, it is through conversation that fresh starts are possible with lots of different people in your life. But also, I like to look at this part of the sky as right place, right time energy as well. And so my advice would be busy, be aware. If there's anything that you need to know and you need to know it quickly, the universe may very well help you to gain that skill and to actually know what it is that you need so that you can more effectively do what you are feeling inspired to do next. This month, it is about the medium, it is about the message, it is about figuring out how to say what you want to say, and also trusting that the universe will put you in the right position, in the right place to say what needs to be said as well. And you may end up actually surprising yourself by realizing that there's a lot going on within you and that you are coming to an understanding that you're ready for a change. You're ready for things to take a whole other direction for some of you out there. And this new direction is based on one that has you embracing so much more that life has to offer.